I really enjoyed this
Fuck
movie.
you. I am going to stab you with this. You're fucking lying. Dude, I swear to God, I'm going to kick you in the fucking mouth. I'm going to kick you in the mouth. I could do it. I could do it. I'm going to fucking stomp you. And we're back. I'm here with my guest, Jeff Allen, once again. And today's episode, we're going to focus on one thing only. Wolfman movies. Jeff and I had just seen the new 2025 Wolfman, and we are going to discuss all three Wolfman movies made by Universal. It's funny because when we saw the most recent one in the theater, we just drove right here, right to the studio, and started our show. We didn't say one word about it. So it was pure silence. Very awkward. But
Extremely awkward.
Extremely. But we definitely have opinions we've kept to ourselves until now. We're going to share them with you. Okay, but I think it's best if we start off with the 1941 Wolfman.
Starring Creighton Chaney.
Yeah, that's Lon Chaney's actual birth name, Creighton.
His birth name. He came out going, "My name's Creighton,"
Yeah.
when the doctor spanked him.
Do you know he didn't like that? They called him Lon Chaney.
Lon Chaney Sr.'s wife, Lon Chaney Jr., his mother tried to kill herself by drinking some kind of acid.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And ruined her voice.
Oh, yeah?
She was a singer.
Wow.
On vaudeville.
So, you have any broad thoughts on the Wolfman 41?
On the 1941 Wolfman? Yeah, it doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up.
Yeah. So, okay.
I gotta say, last time I saw the movie, I was a child.
Right.
And boy, oh boy, that's the time to see it, as a kid in the 70s. I know you were a kid in the 30s or 40s, yeah, right? And imagination just takes over. Imagination does a lot of the work in that movie for you, you know? The sets are really nice, but, you know, when the wagon's driving in the forest, you hear it on the studio floor, like the hardwood floor, you can hear it. It's kind of
I don't know. I can't see. This is what I can't do. I think this might be the problem I had with you guys with Flash. I can't. Yeah. I can't judge on today's standards. I can't judge a movie like that. So like, if I look at that 1941, I don't go, "Oh, this is so corny." It's for its time, it was appropriate. So as far as the story and whatnot, I was captivated. As far as it not holding up by 2025 standards, okay, you can make that argument. But I think there's no dull moment for me in that movie. I mean, the guy's in anguish. Yeah, there's some questionable shit by today's standards. The way it opens, the way he sees the girl.
Yeah,
basically.
Watching her getting ready, pretty much. But luckily, she's already clothed.
Right.
She's already dressed.
But if she wasn't, hey, not his fault.
In the 80s, she wouldn't have been, right?
Right. She lives above a store. Which, did you notice that store? I think it's called like Conleafy or something. Conleaf. And it's the same name as the 2010 one.
Yes, the one where he hides out.
Antique store.
Yeah.
He goes in and asks for a pair of earrings, and he asks for the moon-shaped one with bangles.
What I'm really looking for is something half moon-shaped with spangles on it, golden.
Oh, I'm sorry. We haven't any like that just now.
Oh, yes, you have. Don't you remember? On your dressing table up in your room.
In my room?
And it was crazy, too. Like, dude,
that could work, man.
So much Me Too going on with that. He's like, okay, what are you doing tonight? Oh, I can't go out. Okay, I'll be by. Mm-hmm. And you figured, all right, this is going to end. Keeps going. He's like, all right, I'll see you tonight. She's like, no, you won't. No. So, yeah. Okay, I'll be back later.
How about tonight?
No.
Fine,
I'll be here at 8.
Yeah. Don't take no for an answer.
Yeah, man.
Larry, his name was Larry in that. It was so bad. I thought, Larry.
What do you mean?
Larry. His name was Larry Talbot. And
Of course, that's like saying Dracula, Count Dracula. What?
Dracula's cool, man.
The Wolfman has been Larry Talbot forever, so why even joke about that?
Because just like Larry Fishburne changed his name to Lawrence in Deep Red, was it Deep? No, Deep Cover. Because it's a little more serious and more
I gotta say, the movies.
Even though that's his actual name, just said, "Oh, hey, everybody," instead of like you, Andy,
Right.
Like, oh, now I want to be known as Andrew. Like, oh, Jesus, that would be like, well, that doesn't fit you at all. It's just funny when he's running away and Gwen is going, Larry, and all I think of is Curly from the Three Stooges.
You're losing me. I have to say, if you're gonna go there, I think these movies, a lot of the old universes are kind of out of time and out of they don't really pinpoint the country a lot of times. The accents are just wacky. I think Son of Frankenstein with that little kid with the blonde afro and he's got like a southern accent. It's like, where are you from? It's crazy. And Larry, but it's explained really well because he went away.
Yeah, he went to America.
Comes back and his father is Claude Rains.
Yeah.
With this British accent.
Doesn't look anything like him.
No, doesn't look.
Like he's 3 feet shorter than him.
Yeah, he's so short. I looked up their height. He's 5'6", and Lon Chaney Jr. was 6'2". When Larry comes back to the Talbot estate, he's like, he came back because of his brother had died, and I think it's maybe 2 lines. They bring it up. They go, he looks at the portrait, looks just like Lon Chaney Jr. And he's like, yeah, I'm really sorry to hear about John. His name was John in the original, and he's Ben in 2010. But he's, I'm sorry about it. Yeah, he goes, yeah, it was an unfortunate hunting accident. And then, boom, that's it. That's all you need to know. Hey, what's this? A telescope? They're bringing in that glass. It says glass for a telescope.
Yeah.
Which was also really great that they showed it in 2010. The telescope really had nothing to do with the story, but it was
didn't
nice
have nothing to do with the other story either, with the original either. Just him to introduce Gwen.
That's respect.
And
anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And these little nitpicks like Larry and the whole spying on Gwen. I understand the sound stage and not changing the audio or doing any audio design. Build the fucking set.
You just think of the audience. If you were sitting in that theater watching that, you wouldn't be going, wow, this is
course not.
It just looked beautiful. Just the mist and everything. Hey, let me ask you something. So when he transformed into the monster, because I just watched it again on Shudder, and trust me, I've seen it so many times. I own the. I remember when the DVDs came out, and they had like 3 movies on them. So I got the Frankenstein one, I got the Wolfman one. When his father straps him to the chair, and then he, so you can't go, and we're going to go out and hunt this supposed wolf. He's strapped down. The next thing you see him, he's just creeping around as the Wolfman.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a transformation when he's sitting in the chair?
I thought so.
Yeah, and because we just watched it on Shudder, because Shudder just put him up.
It might have been too graphic.
I don't know. I have to look at that. I know there's I think he changed in Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. I think they show him sitting in a chair and changing. But that's a weird cut for me because he was strapped down, and they did, even just showing him break out.
They did.
I
all of a
swore
sudden
that happened.
Okay, so here's my beef with that movie, and the great thing is I enjoyed it as a kid. I loved the Wolfman as a kid. Remember, there was one Christmas where before we'd gone to a toy store, and they had these little, I think they were Migos, and they had glow in the dark hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wolf, the mummy had glow-in-the-dark eyes because they painted his face, but his eyes were glowing.
Oh, okay. Well, that was the one I didn't want.
Yeah.
I didn't want the mummy. I wanted the Wolfman, and he was more wolf-like. His head looked more, like a.
Oh, you're right.
Like
I remember that one.
Odie or Eddie from Dreadstar. But I really liked him and his cloth outfit, you know, with the fur, like he was wearing a fur coat. Anyways, and you know, my mom, of course, was there at the store, and I really wanted the Wolfman. And on Christmas morning, I got the Mummy, and I was like, oh, hey. And,
That's a good one, dude.
yeah, but then I opened it, and the Wolfman was in there. My mom said, "Kid, I get the Mummy box just to fuck with him."
Oh, that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. So that was really great. So my point is, the continuity girl on the Wolfman, I think they created the job of the continuity person after 1941, because, you know, Larry gets bit, right? And they're like, look at this. And he pulls open his shirt to show the pentagram. Right. And then he gets home and he takes his shirt off and he's wearing an undershirt. Yeah. And then he like lays down like, oh no. And then he's out as the Wolfman. He's wearing the fucking shirt, the long sleeve shirt. He's wearing the Wolfman's costume. Yeah. And then when his dad says, no, Larry, we're going to go out and hunt this Wolfman. I'm going to strap you to this chair. Well, it's a good thing you put me in my Wolfman costume first, father. No. Because he wasn't wearing that earlier. Yeah, well, hurry, get dressed. Wear this dark green shirt and fucking.
Yeah, when he transformed the first when they pan down to his feet.
Yeah,
and then he had that tank top on.
Yep.
And then you see him out running out. Yep. He's got the full on dark.
Exactly. Hey, and I get it because they don't want to have all that fur showing. That's a lot of fur you got to put on a guy. Yeah. But man, and dude, that was the magical thing back then. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was just captivated by the whole thing, and my imagination took over. And then you grow up and you realize, oh shit, and everybody does that. Every generation says, oh, we could do better than this.
Maybe that's where they got the whole thing where, you know, like the whole where parents used to think, oh, these movies are trash. Don't see this. Horror movies are trash.
There's like, no continuity.
Yeah, they're like people like you. This stuff is trash. I can't, come on, it sounds like a soundstage. I don't know. I did notice it, but it did not affect the way I felt about the movie. I thought it was a fine movie. It's a great movie.
It's up there, but I could see how it might not have been up there with Dracula and Frankenstein.
Sure,
it felt more lower budget.
He's an incredibly tragic character. He's cursed, and he wears that on his face as Larry.
As Wolfman, he's unrecognizable.
His story, he never gets the girl. The girl ends up in the guy who he was competing with. He's dead, and she just cries in this guy's arms. I mean, it's so sad. Like, it's just such a tragic story. Like most of those Universal things are tragic. You know, Frankenstein and everything is just. Do you know? Gilbert Gottfried had I love Gilbert's podcast. He's a big monster kid too. And he was a big monster kid. And I'm a huge fan of his podcast, and he has he talks about a lot of these old movies all the time. But he had this great analogy about the Universal monsters where, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
When he says, Frankenstein's monster is like when you're a human child. You're just clumsy, you're knocking things over, you don't kind of understand the world.
Yeah. You end up throwing a little girl into the lake and you can't swim.
And then the Wolfman is like puberty. You're going through puberty, you're just crazy, raging hormones, and you're just crazy kid, you know. Mm-hmm. And then Dracula is how you envision yourself as an adult. You know, you're just suave, and then the Mummy is obviously the old man. It's really cool.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Really great. I love that. But that's all Gilbert Gottfried.
Of life.
Right.
Of men's lives.
Claude Rains, got to mention him as Larry's dad, who actually, you know.
I didn't see him in the movie at all.
Claude Rains, he was the Invisible Man.
Hence my joke. Hence my joke just then. My joke.
Oh, I didn't see. I get it. A lot of the Universal films, they're pretty like incestuous with who plays the monster. You know, like Bela plays, and I realized
that was great. I didn't remember that Bela Lugosi, and he even had his name was Bela, so that people would understand because it was kind of unclear.
He played a Wolfman. He played Frankenstein's monster, and obviously
Igor.
Dracula.
And Igor, yeah.
Correct. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, and that's one of his finest roles is Igor. It's crazy, but it's amazing. And you know, Lon Chaney Jr. played Frankenstein's monster. He played
Son of Dracula, right?
Son of Dracula with a mustache.
Yeah,
it's
And he played Frankenstein, that live broadcast where he fucked up. Did you see that? Oh, dude, it was on TV, and he had hidden alcohol in spirit gum vials, jars,
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah,
and so he'd go backstage and he'd just drink and drink and drink. And when they had the live performance, his makeup looked awesome. He looked more like the De Niro Frankenstein. You know, they didn't do the flat top. And he got up and he started, and he'd put the chair down. He'd pick up a chair and then he'd put it down, and then he'd go, and act like he threw it down because he thought it was a fucking dress rehearsal. And it was live fucking TV. And after that, it was like, oh man, but he continued to work, you know, till the very end.
Speaking of playing the monsters in their later years, Gilbert Gottfried, also, he would talk about this episode of 77 Sunset Strip where you have the classic monsters all together in an episode. You ever seen that? You know what I'm talking about?
No, was it Boris and...
It was, I know it was Lon Chaney. It was Peter Lorre.
Yes, and Boris Karloff, and it was Boris Karloff as Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Lon Chaney as the Wolfman, but his makeup didn't look as good.
And it
and
was,
Peter Lorre, and it should have been Bela.
And it's so weird because this was in the '60s. It was shot in black and white, but I found it on YouTube, and you could watch the whole episode, and I did. And wow, it's so cringy, like, because it ends like everyone's so afraid. Boy, you monsters are a gas. Like, you know, it's that. I just remember the last shot. It ends with, it's a long hallway. I think they're in a hotel somewhere, you know, and Wolfman, it's from behind. He's running down the hallway, and then he sees this one teenager. He goes, "Arr!" And they faint. They go, "Oh!" Drop, and then he keeps running, and another one pops out, "Arr!" And they drop and fall. Like everyone just faints. It's this hallway of fainting teenagers being scared by. It's a real Wolfman, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. It was so cringy, man. But I saw it.
Something else that they didn't do, that they didn't even give a shit about in that original, was the full moon. It was just, it's nighttime. Yeah. I'm turning into a werewolf. Yeah. It's nighttime. Like, Bela is a gypsy fortune teller. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm going to kill you because I saw the pentagram. And oh, yeah, it's a full moon." And that's never been clear enough, right? You know, like, but the full moon, like the clouds reveal it. And then it's like, oh, we got to walk over to the window and see the full moon to turn into our wolf selves. You know, it's I guess it's like a vampire seeing daylight, you know, if they're in the shade and in that, you know, they'll be okay. But, yeah, and again, that didn't matter back then. Didn't matter. No. I didn't care.
You know, let's face it, the further on they moved, just the quality just started dropping. Yeah. You know, I don't know if they just didn't have the money to pump into these movies anymore.
Well, it was just it was a different time back then where it was like, okay, these were making big money, and then it kind of died off, and then this revitalized it, the Wolfman. Yeah. And then, okay, cool, let's make more, and then same thing, and then Abbott and Costello killed it. In the eyes of everybody, you know, now they were just a joke. You know, and then you have that
brought humor, which you could argue that's one of the best monster movies ever. I would.
Well, yeah,
it's one of the best ones. But yeah, I know. I see it. It made them less scary and more. Yeah. A butt of a joke. The director, that's what I'm thinking. Before this, he did Man-Made Monster, which was also starring Lon Chaney Jr., which kind of looks like Radioactive Man, I believe.
Yeah,
where he's just glowing, his face and hands are glowing. Indestructible Man, that's what I'm thinking. That's another one with Lon Chaney Jr. Oh, wow. But he made Man-Made Monster before this, and then I think he also directed The Invisible Man Returns. Anyways, all right, that's enough about this 1941 version.
So, 1941 version Wolfman, does it stay or does it pay? I don't know what to do.
Yeah, no.
Does it howl or does it foul?
Just for being the originator, it's definitely gives a thumbs up for me. Just, yeah.
Yeah, I got to give it a nostalgic thumbs up and
Yeah.
a classic and a respectful thumbs up.
Now we go into 2010, The Wolfman.
It is glorious, isn't it?
Directed by Joe Johnston. Guy directed,
Joe Johnston.
Johnston that directed Captain
Rocketeer.
America, Rocketeer,
And Jumanji.
and Jumanji. Yeah.
And designed the Boba Fett outfit.
Did he?
Yeah, I think. Or he repainted it or something like
Know that.
Yeah, he worked on Star Wars and all that.
All right.
Big fan of the digital CGI stuff.
Let me say this though. I have to say this right. I'm chomping at the bit, dude. I want to do a backflip. I fucking love this movie so much. I fucking love it, and it's crazy that it has its detractors. I don't understand it, and you're probably one of them. And I don't fucking get it because you guys are fucking fucked.
Guess what?
That movie is fucking incredible from the first frame to the end. And if you're gonna go and you're gonna say, "Oh, CG looks so stupid," I'm not even gonna listen to you. I'm gonna edit it all out. I'm gonna edit all your bashing of the CG. I'm gonna edit it out because it's crazy to go there. Because that's what it was back then. Do you understand? If you do that shit, that's like saying, "Did you see King Kong with all the thumbprints on the fur when he was stop motioning? That looks so cheap." So don't tell me the CG looked like shit. So take that out of your argument. Let's talk about everything else.
Okay, all
Okay,
right. Are you
go
a
ahead.
mind reader? You want to read my mind real quick?
Go ahead. No, if the CG, right? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This movie felt like it was taken away by the directors, because Joe Johnston took over for whoever was hired first.
I didn't know that.
But it felt like this movie was edited by the studio, by executives. It starts off with fucking Benicio acting. He's just doing some fucking Hamlet, right? Yorick, I knew, you could barely fucking hear him. He's standing on a stage. They hire all these fucking extras, and they're in this theater. You designed the whole theater. You got Emily Blunt sitting up in the box. She's got her fucking binoculars. I don't know why she's using binoculars. He's as close as I am to Andy right now. And she's looking through the binoculars. I was like, what is she going to be looking at? Pores in his fucking face? It's not a scene. It's not like a scene that is a premonition of what's to come. It's not foreshadowing at all. Not, like that's why it felt like it's just, okay, we got him acting on stage. Okay, we got that. Okay, next scene. She's up in the thing. Okay, got that. Okay, now they're partying backstage. He's living the actor's life with all his actor buddies. Okay, she comes in the back. All right, she needs to tell him, my fiance, your brother is missing. Yes, okay, everybody exit. Okay, this one gal, you're going to exit too, but you're really jealous because you really like Benicio. Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay, they all exit. Okay, great. And then, boom, please come to London when you get a chance. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I will. And then finally, boom, he's riding the stagecoach or the train to London, right? And Max von Sydow's there. He gifts him the fucking cane from the first movie. Just out of nowhere. Like, here you go, here's a cane, here's a silver cane. And it's just scene. And then how does the Wolfman open? Right? The Wolfman just opens with him driving in the car on the fucking blue screen or the fucking projection screen and like, oh, this is really great. I can't believe I'm coming home. Like all of that, it just felt like a huge waste of money, extras, time, because probably it was filmed by the first director who had a vision, and then they took that vision away. They fired him, and they said, oh, let's give it to Joe Johnston. Joe Johnston comes in and says, oh, CG is the new way of the world. And I'm not bashing CG at all.
Yeah.
And he comes in, and he's saying, like, oh, we're not going to do that. It's like Joss Whedon coming in, and saying, oh, we're not going to do all that, Zack Snyder slow motion shit. We're going to do it this way, and we're going to mix, okay, all right, guess we are. And then I cannot fucking believe that Joe Johnston was in that edit booth. Unless it was all the footage that he didn't film and didn't know what to do with.
All right, so let's say 100% right? Everything you said, perfect. How much time in the whole run time of that movie did that take?
Exactly. That's my fucking point.
But then
That's
why
my point.
even focus on it?
Because it's a fucking waste of money. From my point of view.
Are you paying for it? Who
No,
cares?
but what the fuck? Motherfucker. This is the thing. Oh, God. It's my own curse. It's my own Larry Talbot curse is to look at scenes like that. And I hate it when I'm taken out of the experience and I know that I'm sitting in a chair watching it. I want to be in the movie. I'm not saying anybody else is going to have this opinion. I'm not saying that. And I'm not fighting for the right to say, you can't enjoy the movie because I didn't. I'm saying, God, I hate it when I fucking see this shit. So it drives me crazy that opening just established him as an actor. You saw that. And it was the equivalent of him saying, oh, I was in America and it's too bad my brother Benny died or John died. All right, well, so let's get on with the story. It was exactly that.
So here's why I think that was great. Because in the original, Lawrence Talbot, he just returns from
Larry. He was Lawrence in this
Sir
one.
Lawrence. Weren't they calling him Sir Lawrence?
No, they were calling him Sir Larry. That's why it was so funny.
All right. So, yeah, laugh riot.
Sir Larry.
So, is that he just came back from America and he's like, yeah, I'm just good at mechanical things, putting stuff together. Like, is that why you were in America? Can't you do that in England? But, all right, this one really drives home, oh, there's a reason why he was in America, and let's just show it. So what they did, they took the original and embellished it and actually made it better. They took his...
They tried to.
That's throughout. Brother dies in just a hunting accident.
Oh my God, dude!
Brother dies in a hunting accident.
Oh my God!
Wait, maybe he can be killed.
Let's show it. Let's show the opening with this big old. I mean, oh God!
I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
Man.
So that's terrible that they showed him acting, and she had classes. What else was terrible?
No, you know what? What's terrible about it was how it was edited. And what they decided to show us. And also, and this is the big one, and I'm really sorry to anybody who was a fan, but Benicio was not right for this role.
Oh, you're so wrong.
His subtle acting, if described, he's very subtle, the camera picks it up. And, like, that's just a nice way of saying that, like, oh man, he's a horrible actor. Fucking in this, he's horrible. Sicario, he's fucking great. Usual Suspects, fucking great. This, goddamn terrible. Dude, the best things about this movie were Hugo Weaving and Anthony Hopkins and Art Malik as Singh, his manservant, who I wish they would have showed more of. It felt like just all these scenes that were, okay, we need this scene now. And because they embraced the full moon every 30 days or so, oh my God, now you got the fucking movie, you got it stretching out and like, Jesus Christ. I just saw it as, okay, check. We need this scene. Okay, check. We got this scene out. Let's get this scene out. This movie was fucking horrible, man. And I'm so glad I didn't buy it because I was so close to buying it.
I'm going to buy it.
Good.
I fucking loved it.
I wish I could have seen, and I like Joe Johnston. Dude, I swear to God, man, this movie, and I don't know how much it is of me just being jaded by all these movies, and like, you had an opportunity, I'm just looking at all this money wasted. The set was fucking gorgeous. It was lit beautifully.
I think this touches on the core disagreements we have, like we had with Flash, is that the respect for the original is just overflowing in this movie. They hit all the beats, and like I said, but they expound on them, like where, and then the dad, he was kind of like a non-issue in the original, in 41. Now, they made him an integral part of this movie. Yeah, the when the dad and the son face off is kind of like Hollywood blockbuster-ish, kind of like face-off kind of thing. Mm-hmm. The gore, incredible. The fear of this monster, the sound, the look of him was amazing, dude. His hunched over, he still had this kind of flat snout, you know, like I thought he looked incredible. His dark face, you know, he still, even as he had that beautiful head of hair when he's Benicio, and then when he turned into the Wolfman, he still had that same kind of pronounced hair. I thought the respect to the original design and then the way they enhanced it was great. The claws look so scary. The damage they did was graphic as all hell. The gore was just
in the unrated version. Yeah.
It was just horrifying because like the original, you see Lon Chaney bite the girl or bite the guy in the shoulder, and I'm like, oh, that's it. Like that's it. Now you see like what happens to people, and then the way he would run around the gypsies when they were.
Yeah, the gypsy camp.
We haven't even touched on the gypsy Maleva, you know. The path you walk is thorny, like in the original.
Yeah.
The way you walk is thorny.
And then the same Maleva was in this 2010 one. That was a great storyline. Dude, there was so much that was so great in this one. Yeah, I was scared to death when he's running through and he's just killing all those people in the gypsy camp. I mean, it was horrifying, dude. The way he howled at the moon, man, and he's under the bridge. So many great shots. Like it's incredible. The girl. You know, he's like, you got to get out of here. I don't trust myself. And then,
oh my God, that's that's a scene that I specifically pick out as bad acting. As just him saying, like, okay, here's the scene. Okay, you're gonna convince Emily to leave tonight. She needs to go back to London tonight. Okay, all right, and action. You need to go back to London tonight. It's not safe for you here. And I guess we got it. Okay, let's call it a day, guys. Let's go get him in makeup.
What's happened?
You have to leave. Please pack your things.
Did I do something?
It's not safe here. You must return to London tonight. I'll be out of here waiting.
Lawrence.
Yeah, also, I have to say, the wardrobe and whatnot was really great as opposed to the 41 version because, like I said, a lot of these Universals are kind of out of time, and they firmly planted this in like 1860 or 1880 or something like that. So his wardrobe was great, on point. Hers was great, on point.
I really like the look of this Wolfman. I like the white shirt and the coat that became a vest, right? Because his arms burst out of it, maybe. I really liked that, and I liked how Anthony, when he became it, he just ripped his fucking shirt off.
So
I've been a werewolf for years, man. And then he really looked like himself, you know. Whereas Benicio was just, you know, just like with Lon, he's just the Wolfman. Like anybody could be that Wolfman,
Right.
And I love the fight between them, you know. But I love the fight between Dracula and Wolfman
me too.
in Van Helsing.
Oh.
So you want to say about CGI? I loved Van Helsing.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
and I like the fire. You know, the fire being a backdrop.
I saw it. I think I even saw it in the theater, and I hadn't seen it for years, and then I forgot how he died. And then when I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, he just lopped his head right off.
Yeah, and I love that about the movie, and I loved him going into an insane asylum. I thought that was a great idea, and just the scene of him being dunked into the ice water and him screaming.
I watched that transformation in
the theater. The what is it called?
all of you, and I love how he says it because it's crazy because you say his acting is bad.
His acting
would you like this?
There,
here's how I'm picturing you. You want this? You just gotta go. You gotta leave. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I like
it's either that or it's that. Right?
I like the cool. Like so. Here's what you would have liked when he was transforming. I'm gonna kill all of you. when he says it, he goes, "I'm gonna kill you." Like he says it as he's holding it back.
I'm not complaining about him
I
in that
love
scene,
that.
dude.
I love
I'm not
that.
complaining about him in that scene. My complaint was they cut away from him. Like when he says, "I'm going to kill all of you." Like he says it, right? He says it a couple times. And then he says, "I'm going to kill all of you." And they cut away.
I will kill all of you. I will kill all of you.
And then the main doctor that you want to see die, right? Who gets thrown out the window and then impaled on the
'Cause
gate.
It's a telegraphed when he says. He goes, "What do you think he's gonna sprout wings and fly out the window, or make me fly?"
Okay.
Do you notice that? That was
Right,
a line.
right,
He says
yeah,
something about being thrown out the window.
Everybody's like reacting, whoa, 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 you know, and it's great. You know, it's like, oh shit, turn around, dumbass, turn around. And by the time he finally turns around, like, you don't get that moment. Like, you don't get to see the fear on his face. You don't get to see him like, you know, like, I was wrong. I wanted him to say, I was wrong. But I want, you know, like that realistic reactions. Dialogue horrible. And I got to talk about when they kiss. When Emily Blunt and Benicio kiss, it felt like she was obligated to not hurt his feelings and kiss him. That's how it felt. It didn't feel like they were falling in love ever. He was so bad in this.
Disagree. He was great. I could tell he really wanted to do this because he was like an executive producer or something on this.
Yeah.
So he loved the character. All right, the 2025. So we're kind of fresh out of the studio, out of the theater. We just saw it probably an hour ago. Go ahead, Jeff.
I really enjoyed this
Fuck
movie.
you! I am gonna stab you with this. You're fucking lying, dude. I swear to God, I'm gonna kick you in the fucking mouth. I'm gonna kick you in the mouth. I could do it. I could do it. I'm gonna fucking stomp you. Fuck you, right? You're lying. Oh, I'm gonna kill you.
Oh my God.
Are you fucking serious?
I really enjoyed this movie.
Oh my God.
Why would...
I wanted to walk out.
This is like the blue and gold dress thing. This is crazy.
I wanted to walk out.
I wanted to take 2010 and take a shit on it.
Oh my God, you're
then-
crazy. You
I
are
swear
crazy.
to God, dude. It
Do
was
you-
a
okay.
huge waste.
Do you like You like that? You like that in a movie for fucking at least 50 minutes of that movie? Is that what makes a good movie for you?
No, those are the horror movie. Those are
Oh
the
my God.
obligatory horror scenes that
Yeah.
my wife fast
Which
forwards
are not
through.
in either of the first two Wolfman movies.
Yes,
None of
I
that.
agree.
There's none
I
of that.
agree. I hated that fucking shit.
But it's most of that movie.
There was a couple that were obligatory as
Did you like when
hell.
the fucking moving van is hanging? Oh, we're gonna fall. We're gonna fall. Did you like that? Did you like that?
This is really funny because I didn't know where it was going. And that's fucking incredible to me. I was along for the ride.
Why didn't they have a car chase? That would have been cool too.
Okay.
A car chase in the Wolfman movie.
Why would they do
Who
that?
cares if a fucking moving van is hanging? Why?
Because,
why?
dude, just like his dad said in the beginning, how
If you don't know
death
what we're
can
talking
happen.
about, wait. They're driving to this goddamn fucking cabin in the woods, and the moving van crashes off to the side, and it's dangling precariously on some fucking, like Jurassic Park. It's just hanging on the side. And, oh, you're gonna fall.
It's just like 10 or 12 feet off the ground, but it's also on a ledge off the back.
Why? It doesn't service the story at all.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're saying this is a Wolfman movie, so
Right.
you're going in there with preconceived notions.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know,
your
maybe it's
problem.
because the title was called The Wolfman.
Well, you already know, like, I don't know what the fuck visual I was seeing from the the dude with the long gray hair or something. Like, I don't know if you saw that. The Wolfman, like he was at, like, I don't know, they had somebody dressed up or a mannequin, you know, like a dummy of the Wolfman, and had long gray hair. And it was like, ooh, what the fuck is this? So I was like, oh, he's going to turn into that? That's kind of stupid. And I'm hearing people, you know, saying like, oh, he actually loses hair, you know. I was going in there going, okay, so this is, okay, already it's taking place in Oregon, you know, even though it's fucking New Zealand or wherever.
Ireland.
You know, they didn't open it with lycanthropy, you know. They didn't open it with that. They opened it with this other, you know, thing where a guy takes on and I was like, okay, so they're going different. This is different than the others.
Okay.
And what was the opening image with the wasp being overtaken by the ants?
Hey, that's a good question.
Yeah.
You know what? It fucking sucked. That was stupid. I saw that right away and I'm like, okay, this has got to be an analogy for what. It made no fucking sense. It was fucking horrible. It's so stupid. What did that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Garbage.
But and I'm thinking, well, if I was talking to an angry person, maybe we could figure it out.
And you're having a hard time in 2010 when they established Lawrence Talbot's character by showing him acting. You had an issue with that, but this fucking wasp thing, you go, hey, it's a good movie. Wasp getting eaten.
That's what I said. I used that scene as an example of why I thought it was a good movie. No, but I'm saying like
right there. I go, this movie's a piece of shit. I checked out. This is the first.
Fuck.
It should have been called Wolfman. It should have been called The Werewolf. It's a different take. It's this Native American kind of curse thing. Okay. Cool. It had no reliance on a full moon, which is what the Wolfman is.
Yeah.
Full moon changes. This guy's running around in day.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then you're not the Wolfman. Then you're somebody different. That's like making a Frankenstein movie and it just like, oh, he's just he got bit by a radioactive groundhog. Now he's just the Frankenstein's monster.
I mean, I liked the movie. I didn't think about like, okay, where's the Talbot name going to come into it? Where's the nod to, you know, the fucking gypsy, you know, where's this and that? Like the silver, you know, is she going to pick up a silver fucking silverware because the dad had, you know, no, there's none of that in there. And I understand what Lee Wanell was going for, but I don't understand like the credits at the end where like one letter would turn into the other one letter. Like,
that was just the icing.
I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, dude, what? It's transformation turning it. Oh,
dude,
are we all connected? Like, what are you telling us with the ants and the fucking wasp, Lee?
So
I want to fucking know.
Okay, let me. So
God
I hated
damn.
the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, just give me a good just ending. The end shot of her stopping and looking at this. Why? They're looking at this fucking.
Talk about spoilers.
They're looking at this fucking landscape, and then I'm like, well, that was fucking shitty. At least it's over. You can't offend me any longer. And then that shit happens with the fucking letters, and I'm like, oh, they're killing me. Why are they doing this to me? They hate me. And they were doing that. They're like, let's think of an annoying way. Hey, let's turn this H into a letter N.
Yeah.
And just have it turn into, and then
the B for Blum, Jason Blum, turned into an L for Lee Wanell again. They have his name up there again. Yeah, just a gimmick. It was a gimmick.
There was one thing I can give this movie credit, is that it did feel like a curse where, you know, that's what they lean into all the time. Like Larry Talbot's, oh, I'm just cursed, I want to die. What I really liked about 2010 is how Anthony Hopkins embraced it. He didn't like it at first. He would lock himself away, and then he's like, it's a gift. And I'm like, all right, I get that now. Okay, cool. This one, it's just, you're screwed. And he was royally, like, it looked painful. It looked like, boy, this must suck, like being a wolf man, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I did like that aspect. I thought he just looked sickly and just, the way he even ran, if you're going to say he looked better, the way he ran better than the 2010, you're totally wrong. Watch those 2010, the way he gallops and moves around like... The way this guy ran, he's just like...
You know, it's funny because, like, I've been trying to write some scripts, and you have the whole foreshadowing thing, where like the telescope never came into play really, in the first one. It was just out. Oh, good way to introduce, it's like, oh, look at the full moon tonight. That never happened. You figured you'd be looking at the moon.
On the second one, it did though.
But in the second one, they did because they were like, oh, let's correct that.
That's why I like the second one. Kind of corrected a lot of the problems of the first one. That's why
I love that it worked for you because I saw it as all like, oh, that was a great idea. It's too bad they didn't execute the landing.
Hey, I got to say too, another really great part. This is another spoiler of the 2025 one. When he pulled his arm and he started eating his arm.
Dude,
I was on board. I was like, this is great. All right, you're getting me back. And I did like the way he couldn't understand words.
Yeah, that was great. It was like, what is she saying? What's going on?
I didn't. Yeah, I was like, am I not hearing something? Am I having a stroke right now? but yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah, and they did the thing. It was like very dumbed down, but it worked. Where you would see how he saw things.
And another thing I'll give her credit is that I liked how little dialogue there was. Like you didn't need her going, I'm gonna try that ham radio. I'll be right back. Just stay here. Like she just left. Like she just left the room and started doing things. And he couldn't speak, so there was no dialogue there. But dude, so much of that just quiet. Like when she runs out and then she goes into the barn, locks the thing. I'm like, that's right where I wanted to leave. I swear to God, if this wasn't an assignment, I probably would have walked out. I was done with it. She goes into the barn, locks the thing. I'm like, oh, more of this like quiet, like creeping around, and you don't know.
But that was the greatest creeping around, though.
Oh, it wasn't.
Right?
No,
because they're looking out into the darkness at the door of the barn, but meanwhile he's right there in the darkness. And they reveal that, and he's seeing them and their faces are now more distorted and fucked up. And the lights are glinting all this fucking, their eyes are glinting all that light. The scene where he is revealed that his arm wound is just gotten horribly worse. And he just starts scratching it. And then he starts biting it in the corner. That was the greatest scene of all time. That was the medical theater scene from 2010.
Mm-hmm.
That was the money fucking scene.
That's great.
That and I don't know if you saw me. Did you look to your right and see me? I had my knees up. I had my feet on the fucking chair. It was so powerful. It was so unexpected. And I'm like, where are they going to go from here? And then where they go is the next scene is so fucking dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I hated Julia Garner, I think her name is. She's from Ozark.
Silver Surfer.
Oh God, Jesus! I mean, she brought nothing to this role except she played the part of an icy mother and wife who had already checked out of the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you could say she actually was great. I mean, her just they doing all those stupid horror movie things where obviously. You're a parent, you're not going to let your kid go that far away from you while you're outside trying to open the truck and her lifting up the car battery like it weighs nothing with one hand, like, you serious? And you're really going to bring a battery out there. Okay, well, what do we do here? Well, the truck's probably been sitting there for years. We'll just have like a battery down there. It will leave the door open while I'm doing this. I texted my wife right after and I said, thank God you didn't see this with me. I was going to take them yesterday, my wife and daughter. And it being about a husband and a wife and a daughter. I mean, that's what I think really got me and brought me into the film.
Okay. Please don't tell me you liked this. When the guy crawls up and she's holding the gun on him, it's tense. She's going to shoot him. Boom. You don't see it. Cut to him and he's down on the ground. This movie had such gore with him chewing on his arm. What's the problem with showing him getting blasted in the chest? Just shoot it off screen. Boom, he falls off. You don't.
I immediately thought, what were we talking about? Where it's like, Creep Show, the TV show. It seems like a series where they throw a grenade and then like a flash of light. Oh, it went off. That was disappointing.
All right, that's all. But I have to say, this guy that directed this movie. I loved The Invisible Man.
Yeah, but that had some stupid shit in it too.
Yeah.
The main reason you didn't like it because it had a whole shitload of horror movie tropes in it. You know, like getting them on top of the fucking greenhouse, the plastic tent thing. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I thought, are you going to do something really, really clever with this? No, not at all. Daughter's going to fall through. And they're going to save the daughter. For some reason, he was doing all this shit, slice.
Okay, so all this stuff was really stupid. It's just trope after trope after trope after stupid shit, and you liked it.
Because of the transformation of the guy into a fucking wolf man, and the dynamic between him and his daughter and his wife.
I thought the dumbest looking monster ever reached.
I really liked it because we got to see a full-blown wolf man, his dad, and then we see him as a brand new baby wolf man. He's still a man, you know. If he'd have survived longer, he would have grown all the hair out.
All right, so enough talking that piece of shit. But then, so what do you think they're going to do with the, do you think they can still do this dark universe, which I was really, really excited for? You know, Universal was supposed to do that.
You were?
Dark universe. Yeah, man. Okay.
Well, I mean, I was too, but they put the cart before the horse way more than DC did.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see it work because, you know, they did, you know, Frankenstein meets the Wolfman and Epic Story. I mean, they, you know, look at all the House of Frankensteins where they bring them all together.
My favorite part of The Mummy with Tom Cruise was where Russell Crowe starts fighting him in the big old, in their Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Did you like that movie?
No.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know with you anymore. It was really cool. It was almost like that van that was hanging in the tree. It was like a plane and it was crashing. Oh yeah, it's a mummy.
Yeah, The Mummy. God, you got to see The Mummy, dude. You got to
watch it. I won't watch it. The 8-minute, this was 8 minutes of The Mummy. I'm like, cool. It was a fucking plane crash. I was like, this is fucking not. Anyway, check this. Okay, if they would have done a Lawrence Talbot with this new one, he gets shot, he's in Oregon, he falls into a waterfall or something like that, and he's dead, gone. End credit, he pops out. I would make him transform with the full moon because that's the wolf man. He needs to find a cure. And then maybe this invisible man guy is some creepy technology guy that he kind of solve. So I'm trying, look, to bring Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Invisible Man together. It's unless it's like the Monster Squad, which was a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
I love that to death.
Yeah.
And that was just take over the world, which was fucking beautiful. But let's just say we're trying, since the Invisible Man was rooted in reality, kind of. Okay, let's go there. Let's make this Wolfman guy is searching for a cure. I don't know. There's ways it could have been done, but I think with this movie, how are you going to bring them together? So I guess that I'm assuming they abandoned this whole art universe.
Well, I heard that they were going to try to maybe entertain the idea of doing it again.
All right. So moving on from these three, Universal Wolfman, is there a werewolf or Wolfman type movie that you dig?
Oh God, Dog Soul.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that movie, despite its stupid ass twist.
I'll say American Werewolf in London.
Oh yeah, class.
There was also one movie. Have you seen this one with Michael Perry?
Hooray. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's a movie that was made in like the 80s or early 90s or something like that. Never heard of it. And I looked at some reviews. It's great. He's a brother. He has a sister, and he moves his trailer behind her house, and he stays there. And he's a fucking awesome werewolf. I think it's early. Dude, it's really, really good.
What the hell?
What is it?
I don't know. I want to see it now.
Look at. Well,
Oh yeah, go for it. Call your producers quick.
Michael Perry. Hooray. Yeah, it's Michael Perry. Right. Yeah, he's a werewolf living behind his sister's house. I think it's CG. Right. Bad Moon? All right. Huh? Okay. Got it. Bad Moon. Bad Moon, 1996.
Oh, okay. Wow, co-starring Mariel Hemingway as Janet.
Janet, yeah.
Hey, producer. I overheard your producer telling you through your ear. because you ain't got a brain in there. 'Cause most of it's taken out.
Just check it out, Allison. Yeah, but I was surprised. It was one of those movies that it wasn't like amazing, but it was one of those like, how haven't I seen this? It was good. All right, that's it. Thanks for joining us for our Wolfman talk.